Hey friends, it is December and it has been feeling like it. We had a few mild days and then after those mild days it would drop down very, very cold. We've had flurries. I think all last week we had flurries. No substantial snow yet, but we have had it. It's been quite chilly. So today the sun is out. We had a storm move in Sunday. So today is the new moon in Sagittarius, so it's Tuesday. On Sunday we had a storm overnight into Monday that was very rough. I saw other people in Tennessee and other areas had the same storm that happened. There was very high winds. I think we got 3 to 4 inches of rain in a very short time period. So not typically fall weather. Luckily it was not snow, but it was a lot of water to come all at once. And I had wanted to get out here when it was mild and put down fertilizer and amendment in the beds. And we didn't do it because we didn't know if it was going to get washed out because there was so much rain predicted to come, and it was a lot that did come. So you can see there are some things still alive. The winter hardy things, the kale. I think that's a Romanesco over there. I have to reprop it up. Some calendula, some parsley, some rosemary. This parsley and rosemary probably won't live. I don't really ever get it to overwinter. I see that somebody was in here digging up garlic. So that's not great. Some of the garlic is actually popping out. Also not great, because of the freezing and thawing that's happening in the soil. And actually these beds really needed to have more soil put in them to top this garlic, and it just, oh yeah, look at all of it. It's all popping out. I had put shallots in. Everything is just popping out. That's too bad. So I'm going to try to push down what has emerged, but it's everywhere. I hadn't come out here to check because it's just been so brutally cold, and I just couldn't do it. See something dug over here, so I'm hoping they didn't dig up anything, because I did not label where I put stuff because I just wanted to get it in the ground. Yeah, this sucks. So, yeah, and it's really, really wet, the soil. I can feel it's holding so much moisture. So I don't know how this is going to go this year. If I'm going to have a success or not, because between the thawing and the freezing, I had some garlic that had sprouted, that had planted itself. You can see back there, that's all garlic that had seeded itself from my last year's crop. So, yeah, not so sure. But beds are basically all cleaned out. It's mild today, but it's still kind of windy. So I tried to come out in between the wind. But basically today what I wanted to speak about is something I've spoken about before, and it's resilience. So I learned resilience through Mother Nature at my sickest, right? I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't leave the bathroom. I was housebound, bedridden, extreme fatigue, daily migraines, daily vertigo. You name it, I had it. That lasted much longer than I'd like to admit. Western medicine did not help me. It failed me like it does most chronic pain patients. And so I had to kind of figure it out on my own. What worked and what didn't. And what worked for me and what works for a lot of people is a mind, body, spirit medicine approach. But unfortunately in our society, everything is black and white, right? It's dualistic. Good or bad. Black or white. Wrong or right. There is no middle ground. There is no neutrality. There is no gray. And with healing, and really in life, there's always gray. Mother Nature has gray all the time. We just are not comfortable with it. It feels really uncertain. We don't like it. We want to be able to assign a judgment. We want to be able to assign something as being good or bad because it makes us feel better. That separation actually makes people feel better. But in that separation, in that dualistic thinking, we actually disconnect from our inner innate wisdom, from the innate wisdom that exists in Mother Nature, from the innate wisdom that exists in community. You can't heal on your own. Believe me, I've tried to do it and it doesn't work. You need someone to hold a safe space for you. You need to feel supported, and that can look different for everybody. That can be a supportive spouse. That can be a parent. That can be a friend. That can be someone in the healing profession. It just needs the support. Healing needs the support. It's something that you can go only so far on your own trying to do everything yourself. And believe me, I tried. I've got the t-shirts to prove it. And I speak to you after 15 years of going through this. So it's not something I take lightly. It's not something that I speak about offhandedly. It's something that I believe in fully. And I talk about this in the book that I'm writing, in that we don't want to deal with our inner demons. We'd rather try another protocol. We'd rather try another pill, another physician, right? I'll keep drinking smoothies. I'll change my diet. I'll try this supplement. But that does not get to the inner crux of the matter. That does not get to why you're not thriving. That does not get to why your body is imbalanced. It's because we aren't taught to be resilient. We aren't taught to live in community. We aren't taught to be in connection with our body. All of it. The mental, the spiritual, the emotional, the energetic, the physical components, right? We farm it out as parts, right? So if you have, autoimmune issues, you see a rheumatologist. If you have kidney issues, you see a nephrologist. If you have, GI issues, you see a GI doctor, right? If you have something going on with your head, you see a neurologist. And the only thing those quote-unquote specialists have for you is procedures, pictures in the form of x-rays, MRIs, you name it, which is all radiation, which causes more stress to the body, and pills, which again does not treat the root cause. It just causes to throw gasoline on the fire that is already happening in your body. So I want you to be curious, to have the desire to wonder, what could I do differently? What could I try that I haven't tried? Even if it was considered woo-woo or crazy, right? Like I thought all of that in the beginning. And how can I incorporate all these aspects of myself together with a guide? Maybe you aspire to use Mother Nature as your guide like I do. Maybe you look at her resiliency, right? So she came through with this big storm and she disrupted things, but we need to disrupt the current model in order to heal, in order to shift, in order to change anything. You need disruption. You need interruption in the right way. So I want you to wonder, if you're dealing with chronic pain and chronic illness, I have a link below where you can sign up for my newsletter. You can see what I have to say. You can read my story. When it comes out, I'll share it with you. But I want you to wonder, why does the standardized protocol work for everybody? It doesn't, because we're all different. We all have unique needs and experiences. We all have had different childhoods. We've all had things that have affected us differently, right? So like you could have the same thing happen to you that happens to me, and you can be fine, and I can have trauma from it. And trauma is not the event. It's the body's response to that event, to that stressor. So it's not logical. Like you don't get to decide that was traumatic. Even though something may happen, you go, oh, that's really traumatic. Your body may not decide to make it traumatic. You have no control over it. The body has its own intelligence, but because we're not taught any of these things, we don't understand them. We don't know how it works. And that's what I try to offer in my sessions with coaching, is how the body works, how we can work with it rather than against it. And for me, it's a back to basics approach. It's living in connection with Mother Earth, It's learning how to be resilient. It's being comfortable in the gray when it's really not comfortable and everyone around you is in the black and the white. Can you find the courage to be in the gray? Can you find the courage to ask the tough questions? Can you find the courage to be your own wizard, to pull back the curtain and look what's behind it? That's what I leave with you today. Again, if you want to learn more about me, you can head to mindbodyspiritbreath.com. There's a link for the newsletter below, as well as a link for the Etsy shop where I use the power of the plants, what I grow here, which is not currently growing. Well, some of the weeds are. And I create formulas using these plant allies that actually work with your body in support rather than against it. There are no toxins, there are no chemicals. It is all ingredients that are grown from the earth to support you on your journey. B and I will see you next time.